So, guys, oh, here we go. Now we're having some guests
Let's
come in here.
go. There we
Here we
go.
go. I put
We're
you as a guest, though.
live.
I sent you an invite.
Oh, dude, yeah, I made it. I'm in here. Colton, I'm hanging up now.
It says all right, sound good.
Did you get yours?
It says it can't access my video.
We got tech. We got tech difficulties.
New
I
software for the first time. It's what happens.
want to log you in, but I don't
Um,
want to kick you out. We started up.
I asked a question. It's saying I'm a live call-in, not a host, basically. Or
that should work.
Hey, you got to call in. No, it's not going to work.
Good.
I invited him as a guest to his email. Send him that link, Chandler. I just sent you.
I did send him a link.
It's a guest.
calling in unless I ask you guys a question. What question should
Oh, here we go.
Just ask a good question.
Here we go. Live call in.
What's up,
There
boys?
he is.
We
There's
got
Logan's
a
live
live call
calling.
in here.
Big Logan. Dude, where's your bro at?
Jared,
You,
get that
you
thing
just
off.
got a live call in, and just
Dude,
you
live
have to
call.
ask a question.
Ask a question, bro. Colton.
Live call in, boys.
Ask
Oh, here
Logan
comes
how
Colton.
tall he is.
There he is.
Let's go. He's calling in.
Let's see Daddy.
Hey,
There's
we
that high
got
quality.
What's up, fellas?
How'd you guys like that
That
tech
mic.
difficulties?
You know,
like
it is
it,
what
dude.
it is.
This
the
is
world
what I
we
got
live
right
in.
here. Now we're all in here. This is what I want to do.
Are we live?
Do you guys hear that or no? Oh, hold on.
I heard
I'm a
some
live
clapping.
call in.
You ready?
95%
Oh my gosh. Look at this guy.
I
That
love
guy's
it.
stashed in the bottom right.
That's,
It's incredible.
that's the little-
I'm in the
That
top
is
left
a
on my
truly
screen.
incredible stash.
I'm top left too.
Oh,
You're top left? Oh shoot.
Yeah.
No.
is
Well,
this
Colton
live?
must be.
Are we full like YouTube?
yeah, we're
rocking right
live,
now?
man.
Let's
I
go.
believe so.
The
Jared,
mic
it's
is
live on
hot.
Facebook. Yeah, we're liver then.
The mic is hot. So, all right, boys. Well,
Let me turn this light on.
Colton, Logan, you guys introduce yourself.
Actually, hold on. I want to play this for a
Wait.
second. I think there's
Oh,
something
you guys gonna
important.
do something. We're gonna
Playing
start off
something
right.
live.
Oh my gosh, it's a cool software.
Ooh, this is nice. Look at this intro.
Oh wait, that ain't the right people.
Hey,
Wrong people. Wrong intro. Hold on. Wrong
My
intro.
bad.
Click the
Hold
wrong
on. How do I
button.
get out for this now? Hold on.
all right, edit that. Edit that.
All right.
Hey,
I had to
cut it,
put
cut
drum
it.
roll on. All right, now we're starting.
Holy,
All right.
we're here.
Well,
We made it. Colton,
What's up,
Logan.
fellas?
Logan, where are you at? Logan lives in a van, so where are you currently right now?
Yeah, I'm back home in Omaha. I'm at my brother-in-law's house right now, doing the
God.
whole house thing.
That's weird.
that feels weird.
Colton's from Arizona. These guys wholesale in Arizona, and they crush it. So, without further ado, I'll let you guys introduce yourself. So, Logan, go ahead. Who are you?
Yeah, so my name is Logan Fast. I like Chandler said, I travel around the country in a van. Been spending a lot of time in Colorado recently. I handle a lot of the sales dispo side of the business. We mostly wholesale. Got experience in small multifamilies and some flips as well.
I like that. I like
Yep, and I am Colton. We're brothers, and Logan's been doing this since what do you say? 20. You got your first deal at the end of what? 2017.
That was January of 2018.
January 2018, and then I left my job just over a year and a half ago. I was an analyst for various companies in various industries for 6-7 years, and then I joined him around then, and we started to build this business. And then, like he said, we wholesale a lot, and we've kept some stuff. We have a couple of rentals. We have some small multis that we've picked up along the way, and we're building a business.
I like that. I like that. So, Colton, if you don't mind, can you move your mic just a little bit closer to your mouth? It's a little quiet.
Is that better?
Oh, that's so much better. So I like it. So you guys have been doing this for about like 18 months. Right now you guys are doing definitely on track for a 7-figure year. So it's pretty spectacular. Talk a little bit about how it is traveling the world, or one before we even go traveling the country, talk about how it is to be partners as brothers. How is that?
That's a great question.
That is a good question.
I would say it has there's positives and negatives, but ultimately it allows us to, I think, talk a lot of things through, and there's a level of trust there that is pretty much unmatched otherwise. So I think that definitely helps a ton. I'm also getting a little bit of feedback. I don't know if that's from one of you guys, but
Yeah, I would agree. I'm getting a little bit of feedback too. It does allow us to, I think, maybe get a little deeper than people, because no matter what, at the end of the day, we're still brothers, and we also know that we both have each other's best interest at heart at all times, as well as the rest of our family. So we don't just do this for ourselves; we do this for our family and our wives, our parents, our friends and family. It's all one group. So we get to do that together and work on that on the same conquest.
yeah, it definitely helps when things get like super tough and we're having challenges. It's like, if we weren't so close, it would be a lot easier to go in a different direction, or even give up on the business as a whole when it gets really hard. So helps us push through a lot of difficulties, I would say.
Got it. You guys still hear feedback?
Yes.
I don't hear anything, so I'm a
I think it
rookie.
might be you, Gino.
Is
Really?
is
You're breathing
Yeah.
pretty loud in the mic, just a heads up.
I think that's you. No.
I was inhaling crazy. I ran up the stairs like fast as heck. Is that me?
I think I
Who
thought
said
it
you're
was.
breathing loud in the mic?
I'm muting myself and let me know if you still hear it.
All right, let's see.
Oh,
No, it's good now.
It's definitely.
Yeah, it's you, Gino.
Screw me, bro.
Dude, the culprit over there in Europe. Dude, if you didn't know Gino, where are you live from? Madrid?
It's because my mic.
I think he's in Madrid right now, so he's been out there having a good time. They're crushing it. Him and Jared out there actually going to visit some of our team, some of the team out there who lives in Spain.
Yeah, we're
so
visiting
pretty cool.
people. It's gonna be echoing for a second because my mic freaking changed on me. I don't know how that happened, but it's my luck. The
Dude,
luck of
we're
the
so
draw.
prepared today.
The luck of the draw, man.
So Logan, okay, now I think the other interesting side is living in a van. Colton, I want to hear your perspective before we even hear Logan. Like, how do you feel about, like, how is it with Logan living in a van? What do you think?
I think for a long time, we didn't have a system down that worked well, and so for months and months, I think I was frustrated with his availability, and there were times where it's like, these are things we had to work through, because there were times where, hey, I'm not available, I don't have service, or hey, I'm on the road and my equipment doesn't work to the level that it needs to in order for me to do these high level tasks. I have to take these, high importance calls. I have $50,000 on the line. I have this, that, the other, and I can't do it, I have difficulty doing it. And so a lot of times those tasks would fall to me, but we've worked through those things, and he has like 2 or 3 different hotspots now and options. Our schedules are over disclosed to each other. I know where he is. I know what he's doing. I know when he's available. I know when he isn't. The communication definitely has to be there in order to, I think, push through those kinds of difficulties. But that's something we've had to build and figure out as we've come along. And I think we're in a good spot now. There are still times where his lifestyle is maybe a little bit inconvenient, I would say, but that is what we want to have as a business, and that's what we want. That's what I want I want my lifestyle to be a little bit inconvenient for the business as well. We want our employees, we want their lifestyles to be a little bit inconvenient for the business. We all have lives to live as well, and as long as the things are getting done at a high level, then we want that for ourselves, so we want that for everybody else as well.
Yeah, I like that. Making it like a part of what you want. And I think an important point too is like just that necessarily what another thing we bring up, because like partnerships are important to talk about, like all the different things. Is like, one, you guys are brothers, so that's super unique. And then two, you guys both have very different lives in a sense. Because Logan, you travel around in a van, and you guys have a famous cat who has like 700,000 followers on TikTok, and then Colton, you have a baby at home where you play golf and take care of your kid and crush it in real estate. So I think it's super cool. But like, how does it play? Like, Logan, do you see it also playing over like where, like, in a good way and a bad way, just like how you have to overcome the personal boundaries and personal priorities to continue with making the business go on the right track too?
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's definitely just different perspectives a little bit. So there's definitely a challenge involved with that of just living different lives, and even where we're at in life. I mean, I got into this in the first place to be able to travel, to live the life that I wanted, to do a lot of that stuff. But there is also a level of responsibility. I have to bring myself back a little bit because other people are depending on me. And I'm sure you guys have seen this too, as you build a team and people are depending on you. It's not just, I can't exactly just go do what I want all the time. And I don't even think that's not what I want to do, is just have freedom. Like, freedom on its face, kind of just when you think about it, is I just want to be able to wake up today and do whatever I want. But I don't think that's really a very fulfilling life. I thought that's what I wanted years ago, and move into the van, start doing it a little bit. You have a little bit of time to do that, and it's like, it's boring. It's fun to build a business. It's fun to see progress, build a business, build relationships with my team, with sellers, whatever it is, buyers. So I've actually just realized what I like to do a little bit more. And yeah, I think the business is meant to work with our lives. I don't think it's like, I don't want to be a slave to the business. So you kind of just have to build it that way, in my opinion.
A lot like you guys have done. Like, I hear you guys say, Gino, I was watching one of your videos the other day, and Gino says, we've very intentionally built the business this way so that we can, live our lifestyles. I want to travel. I want to go to Europe. I want to be all over the place. And we're kind of on that same track, on that same model, and of that same opinion.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, can you boys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Dude, I'm screwed. I can't change my microphone. So when you guys are talking, I'll just mute myself because it's in my computer.
You really sound okay.
Do I?
Yeah,
I'm
you
leaning down on my computer.
No, you sound fine.
But yeah, anyway, I think that was important to mention, Colton, is like, how you guys are designing your life, and you both are doing it in your own frames, like Chandler mentioned. So
I am curious too. I mean, how do you run a 7-figure business from a van? Like that's crazy. Like, how does that work?
That's kind of a loaded question, but I'll give it a shot.
How does it
I don't
loaded?
know. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, honestly, a lot of what we've done is build an awesome team. I mean, it comes down to people, a lot of it. I mean, Colton's awesome, and then the rest of our team's awesome. So that's a big part of it. I mean, I've gotten good at delegating, I would say. I've gotten good at, just taking care of things that need to get taken care of, whether I'm physically somewhere or not. It just takes some more planning ahead. But it's all doable. I mean, a ton of people do this business, 10x what we do virtually. So it's not all that much different living in a van. It's just, maybe my service is a little bit lower quality at times, but you just figure it out.
I think there's some limiting beliefs that we had to get through and break in order to even pursue building a business virtually. I think, especially me, when we started, and I think it's typical of a lot of people, so many limiting beliefs, but then you meet people and they break one thing for you, and then you get one deal, and it's not about the money you made on that one deal. It's just that you prove the model that you can make money in this business. And you do it from a van, and now you've proved the model that you can make money in this business from a van, and then you go to 10 hours a week or whatever, and you prove that you can make money in this business from a van working 10 hours a week. You just we've just been breaking down these limiting beliefs, I think, to get to this point, and we're still breaking them every day. It's the reason that we work with people like you guys and go to CG and all those things. Like every time you step in those rooms, you see people doing things that just crush your limiting beliefs.
Yeah. So what kind of role has education played in breaking those limiting beliefs?
I would say that it's been for us, especially this whole thing. Before I was involved, I remember Logan was working a customer service W-2 job, making 40 grand a year or whatever, his entry level. And I remember he started
42
bringing.
grand.
Don't leave that out. 2 more.
I remember
K.
he
bro.
started bringing books home.
I
He had a
negotiated that.
He had a stack of real estate investor books, like this one on this. He would bring them home and read them, and it was just like, okay, like you're working an entry level customer service job. You're gonna become. This is what I remember. You're gonna become a millionaire real estate investor. And he had no work experience, just came out of school, and then it's like he quits his job one day. And I got my own life. I'm working in a good job and all that, and it's like, okay, now he's that now. I'll tell this story. We were at the casino one time and back home for a wedding, and this is what for me like really set this path. I didn't take any action at this point. But this is what set me down this path is we were at the casino and Logan withdrew, and he's 2 years younger than me, and he's been doing this for 1.5 years or whatever. Didn't really know much about it. He didn't talk about it much with the family. He's just grinding. And he withdraws from the ATM and shows me the balance, and he had $82,000 in his checking account. And I'm working a job. I'm making 90 grand a year. I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I'm pretty comfortable, and I've never had anywhere close to that amount of money in my checking account at this point. And this is what I tell the story sometimes. This is what like set me down the path for. And again, I didn't take any action at that point. But back to your question, the education. It started with that, and then when we move into a more formal space with what we're doing now, it's everything. Like for about a year, or at least I bashed my head against the wall, not wanting to like model after other people or take that education. And then we started to really buy into people who are doing this better than we are. And it's just been at that point, a lot of unknowns are removed and you just execute. So it's been huge.
Yeah, I think education is, it's the most important thing, of course, if you're taking action on it. But all of it's out there. You can learn all the basics through books, podcasts, stuff like that. So that definitely helps get 0 to 1 and get a foundation, start getting deals and stuff. And then there's a whole nother level, and then there's levels on top of that. Like he said, once we started getting around higher level people, you guys, other people running 7-figure businesses, started hanging out with them on a regular basis. Like, not only do you see the technical side of all of it and figure out how to do it, but you also see the mindset. You see how people think at this level and everything. And it really comes all down to executing now. We have a very clear roadmap. And if we don't, we have people that can clear it up for us. But without education and without that network, it's trying to figure it out by yourself. And it works. It's just slow. It's just way slower.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and I would just add to that to say all the books in the world can teach you the basics, but then you're in the thick of things and you have a seller situation or you have a conversation that has to be had. You have a title problem. You have this, that, the other, and if you don't have somebody that can answer that for you in real time, you're gonna have a difficult time getting over those issues. So that is an even more, I think, valuable aspect of education is the people that can provide it to you and the people you have connections with.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cliche, but like who like your net worth, just because of the resources you have at your fingertips, like what Colton's saying is like the speed, like the thing for at least for us, for me, is the speed in which information travels with when you pay for education. is just so much faster. Like on YouTube, I watch YouTube all the time. I love it. But you just are kind of like watching it and like seeing if you find what you want. And then usually you do. But then when you have like a coach or you're a part of a mastermind community with other investors or other people doing what you're doing, then you just ask the question and usually it gets answered like right away. And then that saves you what, days, months, weeks of headache.
Years.
And you do that 10 times over, then
Yeah.
you got a year back.
Yeah, time
Yeah.
is money, like Little Wayne said back in the
That's
day.
right. Little Wayne,
Yeah, and
let it rip.
and I think about this sometimes. If you look at other people's trajectories in CG, like you guys and your growth, it's Gino. I just saw you go through your numbers for over the years in one of your videos the other day, and it's like we are able to draw from that and take that same path, grow to those same numbers, and we're able to expedite the process because of you guys took the lumps and you're able to pass the lessons, and you took the lumps through time, and it's not just and well, hugely valuable. Not you guys, not just you guys either. It's like we have a handful of people that have taken all these lumps and spent all this time bashing through these problems just to say, hey guys, I bashed my head against that wall for a year and a half. Here's the answer. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, it's a cheat
and
code.
you see it on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now we can do the same thing for people. If somebody asks me specific questions, it's like, yeah, do it this way, or at least think about it this way. Think about these things. This took me countless hours. I spent hundreds of hours to figure that out. Like, I'm pretty sure I can help you. You've hardly even thought about it. So
Yeah.
we get that same kind of advice from people ahead of us, and it's just crazy how much that helps.
Yeah, I like it. So you guys mentioned how you both have a good amount of doors. So Logan, talk about how you were acquiring doors and like how you got started on this journey with your entry level job that Colton alluded to.
Yeah. So my first property, the original plan was a house hack, basically buy 2 to 4 units, live in one of the units, live for free, close to free, or even make a little bit, just so I could keep stacking up cash and continuing to acquire properties. So I just saved up. I saved up like 10 or 12 grand, bought a threeplex for about 90 grand, which is just crazy to think about looking back on it now. But ended up buying that place, quit my job soon after because I had my first wholesale deal under contract. I was going to make 5 grand. So, I was pretty much rolling in it.
Making that dough, baby.
Yeah. So, basically from there, I just continued to wholesale, like kind of irregularly. I was doing maybe, probably about a deal a month on average. And it was, most of them were 5 grand. So, even there, I was doing a lot better than my $42,000 a year job. And I was actually enjoying it. I was gaining skills. I was actually progressing on the path I wanted to go. And along that time, I became pretty good friends with a guy in Omaha that was doing multifamily. And I just started to basically bring him my multifamily deals. And he was generous enough, but also I would say really smart to partner with me on them. Even though he did most of the work, he definitely didn't need to give me a 50-50 split. But the fact that he did, I kept bringing him deals. So I started to build a little portfolio with him. And, that was since values have skyrocketed the past couple of years. Those are a lot of the best deals I've done, just buying those and hanging on to them for a couple of years.
Nice. How'd you get the break down that partnership for people that are listening? Like, how did you get the funding? How'd you find the deal? All that stuff. I know you partner with someone, but explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so we're basically just utilizing like the BRRRR strategy for small multifamily. So just looking to buy at below market value, increase the value through strategic renovations and getting rent up to market. And most of those deals were so solid that once we went to do a cash out refinance on them, we would mostly fund them with hard money, kind of depending on the deal. And then we would do a cash out refinance, and we were actually able to pull out a good amount of money on those. So within even a few months, getting it renovated up to market rent, and pulling out anywhere from 10 to like $80,000 on whichever property it was. Then we could roll those profits into the next one and just keep doing it.
Nice. So you got the
Sounds
money
really
what from
simple.
traditional banks? Hard money, you said, right? And then just refining out, and then just
Yeah,
reusing
yeah.
hard money, the same hard money you got before.
Yeah, we would use hard money, and then my partner would typically be the one to bring money. Well, he brought money to the first rehab, and then after we did a cash out refi, we had combined money that we would bring to the next rehab.
That makes sense. I like it.
Is your plan to keep
and-
those? Is your plan to keep
Yeah.
those properties long term, or are you gonna sell them? Take advantage of the appreciation. What's your plan with those?
So we're selling. We bought, I think, 18 or 20 units total. We are selling. We have 8 units left, and we're selling 6 of them right now. So we're only going to have a duplex left from that. But we have acquired some more since then with Colton and that other guy. So we've got 13 units in Omaha with all of us. And we are going to hold on to those long term because there is really good opportunity for some development plays. They're in really good areas. So it's probably going to be a few years before we seriously take a look at it, but they cash flow well. And there's a ton of upside if we do decide to develop those.
What kind of development plays are they?
There is, they're right off the main street, like the main kind of highway in Omaha, Dodge Street. So there's a 20 unit apartment going in catty corner. And it's just right by like a really trendy, nice area. It's like a block away. So, apartments, commercial, like you could do a number of things there.
Mid-rise
Like,
potential is
I think I'm confused. Is it like you're developing it or other people?
Other people are developing right across the street. We just have the property right there that we would look to basically demo and develop.
Gotcha.
Heck yeah. And you guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Your Hellies, I know you're watching this. If you could just add it to our chat box on the right side over here so we can see them. And then we'll respond to them as soon as possible. I know we got some in there. We got Jared that says Chandler looks like Casper the Ghost. We got Ryan that's saying
I
he'd
know, I
like
got
the
this
Tate
light.
brothers.
The what brothers?
The Tate
the
brothers.
The Tate brothers. Top G.
Yeah,
Top
top
G.
G's.
Andrew Tate.
Jeez.
Then you
Yeah,
got
he
Nico
actually
and
said something
Sergio.
he actually said something kind of interesting the other day on TikTok. He was talking about
Oh, we're gonna get on this stuff.
we can get on whatever we want. But the guy goes on his podcast or whatever. He's like, dude, how does it feel to have like a joint bank account with your brother? Like, why don't you just want the bank account to yourself or whatever?
Oh yeah, he did
He's
say some good
basically-
things about brothers.
He's like, and I sent it to my brother actually because I thought it was pretty pretty spot on. And basically, just talking about how strong the bond is with your brother, and like basically exactly what you guys hit on at the beginning. That's kind of what made me ask it, is just because it was top of mind, and just how there's so much trust. And like if anyone's gonna tell you, hey, you're screwing this up, or hey, you shouldn't do that, or hey, you're crushing it, it's gonna be your brother, because there's that brother, just that brotherhood. You need a brother in your life, whether it's blood or whether it's a friend. So I
Yeah,
think
like they
that's-
share everything, the mansions and stuff like that, and the cars, and they're just like, yeah, why not share it with your best friend or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something cringy and emotional like that. But
Yeah,
I
that's
like it.
sweet.
I'm not
I was trying to get Colton into this in the first place just because I wanted to share this whole business with him. I feel like I hit the lottery just discovering this business in general, and I was like, this would be really cool if he got into it and started figuring this out with me. It'd be a lot more fun, and I know it would obviously benefit his life and everything. So that was definitely I was trying to recruit him into this for years.
Yeah, so let me give a little bit. This is the first. Logan's been on a few podcasts. This is the first podcast I've ever been on. So I want to give a little bit of a origin story too from that. So he was doing this for a couple years, and then I joined about 18 months ago. And when I joined, I left my job. I was an analyst in train freight, intermodal transportation. So I left that job, and I don't even know. Like I left that job on a Friday, and I was full time in this business on a Monday. And from the very beginning, I brought my analyst background, and I was like, okay, what do we need to do first? And it was like, okay, we need leads. And so we pulled all this public record. We started doing it. We were using PropStream and county data and whatever else. And he had a bunch of leftover data. And I was like, okay, show me your data. And he shows me like this, just it's all over the place. Like it's just been mashed together for years. And I'm looking at this like, dude. Like, and so we take that, a lot of what he already had, and he had stuff on, we had some old systems of his that even had automated text and that was on people. He had people on drips, and people were responding, and he would look at it like every couple weeks, and there would be like responses in there like, yeah, you can come look at my house. And I'm looking at this stuff like, dude, what is that? What is this? And so we took all that data.
Dialed.
We took all that data and we found a friend local to me, and he is just getting into this, and he was doing this, starting to do this. He's a high level business person. He'd never done this industry, but he's done several other industries. He's been in gummy bear manufacturing and cannabis and all these other things where he's had success, and he's run restaurants and bars and all this stuff. And so I get to talk with him, and he kind of is leading us through building a real business based around all this. He's our first mentor, let's say. At least he was my first mentor. Logan's was the multifamily guy that he mentioned. So from the very beginning, we took his data, we got it inputted into some cold calling, and we started to get all these leads. And within, it was October 3rd, 2020, that was my first day in this business. October 15th, we inputted our first data, started to get our first leads. And by the end of November, we had more leads than we could handle because we didn't know anything about lead management. Our acquisitions was absolutely horrible, not to mention dealing with dispositions on the back end, all that. So we literally started to build one department at a time, marketing, lead generation. And then we started to figure out how we were calling these people, but we were so many things. We were getting more leads than we could even call and keep up with. And so from the very beginning, and even to this day, we have more leads than we can handle. And we've expanded lead sources, and we've improved the other pieces of the business. But we even considered different avenues, like generate leads for other people. And we actually did that for a while, and that helped us get through it, because we were losing opportunity, and those leads that were coming in had a shelf life. So we gave them to our partner to close and dispo, and we were just generating leads for him. And
Before you go into anything further, I think one of the strategies you guys came up with was the Green Pool Project, and I think this is pretty genius if you're out in a place where there's no trees. So give some light to that.
We did look at this in Georgia, didn't we? It'd be tough in Georgia. So this was Logan's idea. So driving for dollars, typically most people are like, you can do it virtually, but when most people think of that, they drop their little guy on the street view, and then they drive around the neighborhood, and they pull property addresses based on
your mouth, mic a little closer to your mouth if you can.
And then
There
better.
you go.
And what we did was we took an overhead view, and we made a grid of the city of Phoenix, and we just scanned the whole city. We hired I think at one point we had like 8 or 10 VAs working on this, and we scanned every square inch, every single property manually in the city of Phoenix, and then we moved to other cities as well. We did Vegas, Houston, San Antonio, Columbus. We compiled a list. We pull this property addresses, and eventually market to them, and we would call and text, and that's been one of our most potent lead sources for sure.
So yeah, I mean, I had seen driving for dollars. I'd even seen virtual driving for dollars, but the way I'd always seen it was like driving around through the streets. So ours is, I just want to clarify, ours is like an aerial view to look for green pools, empty pools, and actually like what we would call distress from above, which is trash, crappy yards,
Cars around the house,
yeah, just a bunch of
all the stuff you
junk.
see. Yeah, all the stuff you see.
Yeah. So it's just stuff you can see from above and actually scan through relatively quickly. So how many did we come up with total for Phoenix?
59,000 properties that we pulled from that, and we we did it ourselves to set a baseline for our VAs to do it, and you should be pulling. I think we said you should be pulling 8 properties a minute or something while you're doing this. So every minute you should be adding. 8
God
properties to
bless,
this
man.
list.
8 properties a
They're
minute.
ripping through them.
Oh, they're ripping. They're
You got
absolutely
eyes,
ripping.
eyes of a hawk right there.
Oh yeah, dude, they stick out like a sore thumb. If you look at an overhead view of a desert city like Phoenix, where especially, and this was born because of all the pools, you can see this neon green pool surrounded by all these beautiful blue pools. It's a visible sign of distress. Something
Yeah,
that people
our
drive
pool at
around,
my house
spend all their
was-
gas, and grab 12 properties in a day doing that. We scanned one, there's 1.5 million properties in this city. We scanned all 1.5 million.
You should also, I just thought about this, but I mean, I don't know how, you should sell for like 15K that list to like pool companies in Phoenix.
We thought about
it's
starting
actually
a pool
for
company.
sale. If anybody's watching this that runs a pool company,
Yeah.
that list is for sale.
Yeah, and
With the contact info, like skip trace as much as possible.
you know,
Like,
we
that would
tried to
be-
just
Yeah.
yeah, well, we have a lot of it. We talked about starting a pool company with this, and it was like, and then recently I think it's so hard to operate because recently we tried to get a freaking pool cleaned on a property we're trying to dispo. We had to call 11 different pool companies. I don't think it's a problem of how much business is out there for pool companies. It's a problem of operating the business. So not something we really want to deal with.
Yeah, that's a good observation because, like you said, there's so much volume in the pool business, but no one's doing it correctly. It's hard to operate it, so it's not worth going down that rabbit hole.
We think we could probably run the best pool company in the history of the state. So
I
Next
think you
podcast.
charge whatever you want for a pool company in Phoenix because
yeah.
they're impossible to find.
So
Fast
Nico
pool
said,
company.
Nico met you guys at CG. They good peoples.
Oh, what up, Nico?
speaking.
Nico,
I
the
talked to
goat.
Nico not too long ago. Nico, I think a lot about what I talked to Nico about. He talked to me about equity sharing with your employees and employee ownership and accountability on your team and all that stuff. And we talk about that. We talk about that a lot, and we're definitely pushing that direction and moving that way.
You need anything for me?
Nico?
No, I'm just
You got
kidding. That's
anything
what
for us?
Nico always tells us when he hangs up the phone. Nico's
Oh.
laughing. Would you need anything from me? I think I'm saying it right. I forgot exactly what it is, but always leaving us on that
Something
good.
like that. All
Open
I know is
mindset.
that
Yeah.
I'm just surprised Nico didn't talk about salad dressing with you.
No, we didn't get into that.
Save that for next time.
Yeah.
That's wise.
So we got 7 minutes left. What's some other big things you want to leave the listeners with here, boys?
Yeah, what do y'all want to talk about?
What's the most valuable thing you guys got right now that you would
Yeah.
say
You
has
guys
helped
just-
you in the last 2
Just
weeks?
broke down Dispo to a really deep
yeah.
degree.
Yeah, we can talk about Dispo and we can talk about adapting to what's happened. And I guess that's probably a good way to go is the last, let's say 3-4 months. We had some pretty catastrophic failures. I mean, since February.
Oh, it's been
But-
tough.
but-
yeah.
Yeah, but here we are. I mean, and this would be just my point at the end of this is we come out here every day and still swinging. And we did our first, I want to say we did 253,000 in February. And with that, we started to build our team. We said, all right, we did this and we're going to hire out a full team. We're going to train. We're going to scale this thing and get the right people in the right seats and grow from there. And we hired 9 people. We had 7 lead managers, a dispo manager, an acquisitions manager, and in May we got the most contracts we've ever gotten. We got 11 contracts in May, and we were accounting for somewhere between $250,000 and $500,000 in receivables. And the market in Phoenix dropped, depending on who you ask, somewhere between, I keep saying somewhere between 9 and 12%. So all those fixed contract prices of 11 contracts, we had to cancel 10. So overnight, $250,000 in receivables, poof, basically.
And they were 100% deals when we locked them up too. They were moving for sure.
Yeah. And we've hired some coaches since then. We've had a lot of these conversations, and this is the point I want to make with all this is we're adapting and we're not going anywhere. We do this for a living. We're going to do this for a long time in whatever capacity, in whatever relation we do it. We're not going anywhere. And so we adjusted underwriting overnight. We dialed everything back we picked a date on the calendar, dialed it back to those dates, and said, we're not going to count any of this fake appreciation beyond this date. And if you see comps, you can't use them. And we're back. I mean, we had 11 more contracts, and we're monetizing with a deeper underwriting. I think we've adjusted. And then on the back end, the other thing too is we never had to build Dispo. We had this big, beautiful acquisitions funnel that would run. And this is a lot of what we've worked on over the time we've been doing this. Marketing, lead gen, lead management, acquisitions, get the contracts. They sell themselves. You don't even need a Dispo department. You just list it and wait for your overpriced cash offer. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You just sign on the offer. And now that's not the case. Inventory is up over 150% in the city. We have to sell the properties. So, I mean, we're doing it. And this is what we're working on right now. The acquisitions department is functioning. We're grabbing contracts, doing well, managing our pipeline. And now Logan and I on the day-to-day are like grinding to do Dispo ourselves. We're talking to realtors. We're calling proximity buyers, and we are working hard to Dispo our property, something we never had to do before. It's brand new. And so, I guess that's all just to say that regardless of these massive lumps, where we come out here every day swinging.
Yeah.
That's all you
So
can do.
yeah, exactly. So even in that short time frame, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think because of the way the market shifted, I believe our revenue for June was zero. I don't think anything ended up monetizing in June. And then I was just looking today at the Dispo board at stuff we have actually set with a buyer, and we should clear 150 for sure, with upside into the 200s for August. So we adjusted underwriting. We worked really, really hard to figure it out, and things are looking up again. So it's still very doable.
Yeah, the way that I'm looking at it is we need to become a little bit more like a traditional brokerage, except we're just sourcing our own properties at this point. And that's not something we've ever done. And to have a hand in like a traditional real estate type model is not something I ever really wanted to do, but it's what's necessary. So it's what we do. So, we're out here novating and doing a lot of stuff that we work with you guys to learn, and getting on the MLS, getting access to the properties, setting expectations correctly. I mean, that's one thing I guess that can't be understated as well, is linking up with you two guys and going through your program, and that the value on that has been just unbelievable, just tremendous.
Yeah, it's been, I've seen you boys grow, going through up and down since we talked to each other, in January?
Yeah.
It's been
That's when
crazy.
we met. Yeah, we met at Collective Genius. Colton
Yep.
sat down next to us and wouldn't leave us alone for the whole day.
3 days.
I'm just kidding. No, it was good. I think like right off the bat, we sat down next to Colton. Colton was cool. I think we ate some food with you.
It's
And
pretty
then
cool.
Logan was like going to Telluride, and I was trying to go to Telluride. And I was like, yo, can I come with you? And then we just showed
Typical
up.
Chandler.
Yeah,
man. Just like he'll
guess.
stay in someone's house for a while too here.
Hey, Chandler, you're welcome anytime.
Dude, thanks, bro. You too. But With
Eric
that being
Brewer
said,
hit
boys,
up 2 minutes ago. Yo, look at these studs. Got to start treating buyers the way we've been treating sellers. Exactly. Now it's time we got to switch our model. It's disposition more than acquisition. So
gotta show them
got
that
to give
love.
them
That's
all the
right.
love we can give them.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's definitely
Mhm.
like it's like really like a week by week thing too, because we had people who were interested in a property like on like last week, and then you call them this week and they're like, "No, I'm not buying anything. I'm not doing anything. I just can't. The market's too confusing." So like you're just having to switch a lot of your buyers out pretty quickly, or move the deals really quickly. So it's definitely you got to be on your toes right
Mhm.
now and be
Yeah,
active.
new buyers are coming out of the woodworks. They've been waiting for this, so
Mhm.
got to connect with them.
100%. That's all it is. You're just trading buyers, so they're still there.
Yeah, so we're working really heavy in the dispo side to get the deals we do have sold, and we're working really heavy on the dispo side to build a system that, because that's the other thing too, is we've only ever had to sell, I think before this last 2-3 months, we've only ever had to sell maybe 4 or 5 properties at the same time. Pretty manageable. And now you're talking about, and Eric made a really good point with us the other day. He's like, you guys have, if you're going to get 10 to 12 contracts a month and you're going to have 60 to 90 day cash conversion cycles, there's going to be points where you have 30 to 50 properties at one point you're trying to dispo. It's like you need to be efficient. You need to optimize. You need to have process in place. So that's the on it aspect that we're also working hard on.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge because even once finding the buyer is the hard part, but once you find the buyer, there's still a lot of things that have to happen on the back end just to make sure the deal can go through. Because whether you got to make sure the tenant moves out, or you got to help clean the property out, whatever it is that is going to get the deal over the finish line. I mean, there's some crazy things that had to go on when you just finding the buyer sometimes half the battle, but yeah, being able to have that full service is definitely going to help you win some more deals and get some things over the finish table that you couldn't have done otherwise. But yeah, so
All right, so ended up here. What do you guys want to leave the listeners with in like one sentence? What would you guys leave the listeners with? Logan, you first. I know you're thinking right now. I know you got that. I know you're thinking in that head.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Top one.
I think just whatever it is you want to do, just make it happen. I mean, find a way, make it happen. Like that's it.
Put that on a poster.
that's right. Put that behind your wall back there.
That's what Logan's Slack status says. At 24/7, Logan's Slack status, all it says is make it happen.
I like that. Colt, what you got?
Something that I talk about, I find a way to talk about it, is going in to get out. And I think that at the end of the day, we all do this to make money and to live the lives we want to live. So I think with all the changing market conditions, all the fear, all that stuff, like the answer doesn't, I think the first reaction when you get hit in the mouth is to, back up. I think it's time to lean in, and it's always time to lean in and stick your chin in there, get in the details, get through the hard stuff, figure it out, and move forward no matter what's going on in the market or what's going on in your business or what's going on in your life. Like the answer is always to dig in and stick your nose in there.
That's a good one. I like that one right there.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Don't be
Jeez,
afraid
you
to
really
stick
like
your
that
nose
one,
in it.
Dino.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to stick
So-
your nose in it. That's a quote of the day.
I'm putting that on a coaster.
Hey, don't be afraid to stick your nose in there, boys.
Put it in there, man. All right,
Get
boys.
in there.
Where can they? If anyone has any questions for you guys, or wants to maybe JV with any deals in Phoenix, where can they find you?
You can email me, colton@fastpropertysolutions.com. And I'll put my cell out there even. 402-250-9279. Text me, call me. We're out here.
Late night.
Hopefully, no Chinese bots get a hold of that.
That's fine.
Yeah, do you guys
Put it
transcribe this?
right out the 0 in letters.
In O's. What about you, Logan?
Yeah, but my number is 402-250-8357. shoot me a text. Probably the best way.
Yeah, he'll respond 2 days later, guaranteed.
Focus mode.
I always get back.
He's
Eventually.
in focus mode all the time, so you have to double tap him to get his phone to ring. Oh wait, that's you.
Oh yeah, you got to double hit him. Double hit
You
someone.
always double hit me.
I'm gonna start
It's
quad
important.
tapping.
But
you
anyway,
every
Eric
time I
said
try to
flag
call
on the
you.
play, excessive clapping. There's no such thing as excessive clapping. The sound of claps are on and
Eric
off the
stops.
studio. Right?
That's right. All right, guys.
No, I'm with you.
All right, boys. Well,
All right.
thanks for having us
coming on, boys.
Yeah, we appreciate having
Remember,
you.
don't be afraid to stick that nose in it, boys.
Stick it in
Don't be
there.
afraid.
All right. I'll see you guys next time.
See ya.